So, hello guys, I'm Rishi Maharaj and I'm second year medical student at Marke Polytechnic University in Kona, Italy. I'm from city of Pune in state Bihar. Kota is a hub for medicine and engineering. That's a given fact. If you still have a medical degree from any EU country, it opens a global opportunities for you. And if I talk about Switzerland, the packages there are equivalent to the packages in the US countries. There in countries UK, you don't need to even you can give exempted from giving lab and you can directly get a residency there. That's amazing to study in a UK and to get a PG a residency in a UK universities. A degree is also recognized by US governments. So yeah, you can also give USMLE and other stuff. Classmates are from different parts of the world. Some are from USA, some are from China, some are from Turkey and Israel. And so currently I'm paying zero tuition fees. For Italy itself, they have a regional scholarship program where you apply for it. Okay. And then that scholarship is about 7,000 euros per year.
Welcome everybody. Today with us is a student who not just cleared an exam, and today conversation is not just about cracking an exam. It's about courage, it's about conviction, and it's about rewriting what is possible. We are joined by someone who cleared the IMAT. She challenged the expectations, faced resistance, stepped beyond comfort zones, and created a history not just for herself but in her family, in her lineage. So today with us is Reshima, who is joining us from Italy. And Reshima, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. So, hello guys, I'm Rishi Maharaj and I'm second year medical student at Marke Polytechnic University in Kona, Italy. I am someone who's always wanted to become a doctor from childhood, my childhood dream. So for that, I did my 12th in 2022 and from there in India, there's an exam called NEET. So obviously I was trying to prepare for NEET. I gave NEET twice, but both of the time I was not able to clear the government colleges cutoff. And that was a big setback for me. Then I searched for other opportunities. I came across this exam called IMAT, and this exam obviously opened a different gate for me. So then I'm here as a medical student here.
Reshima, can you give a little bit in your life as an early childhood? From where did you completed your schooling, and you belong to which city in India, and from which place?
Okay, so I am from city of Pune in state Bihar, obviously, and I completed my schooling from Vijayendra Public School in the Pune itself, and then I obviously shifted to Kota for preparation of my NEET, and yeah, that's it.
How was childhood like? Was it fun? Did you always thought even in your childhood that you want to be a doctor? Or does that journey
Yeah, see, as a childhood, every child has different dreams. Sometimes I'm watching this, okay, I want to become this, I want to become that. There were so many things, but as I moved ahead, I started to have an interest in the subject of science, especially biology. So the later on, I tried to figure out, okay, what can we actually do with the biology? I discussed with my teachers, I discussed with everyone, and they said there's an option of becoming a doctor. And doctor, as usual, is a very highly respected position in our society. So there was no any resistance from anyone for that choice of mine. So yeah, I chose to become a doctor. That was not a very childhood dream, but later on it was my choice. It shaped me.
Like after landing in high school, after landing in 10th board, when this thought and this dream of becoming a doctor got planted in your head?
See, in standard 10, technically I met a biology teacher and he was a very nice one. The way he explained the concept ignited my interest in the subject and the human body. And slowly I was like, I want to know more about this. So yeah, from there, I'd say in standard 10th, my decision of becoming doctor becomes solid.
And what was the journey like after that decision? How was your journey of preparation for NEET, and how you landed in Kota? And how was the experience in Kota?
So obviously, like for most of the people in Bihar and UP, Kota is a hub for medicine and engineering. That's a given fact. So when I decided that, there was some deciding where should I study. So everyone was like, you should go to Kota. And whoever I discussed it with, they were like, you should go to Kota. You should prepare from the top institute in Kota. So I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I went to Kota after my 10th and I did my prep. And especially after my 10th, there was a COVID lockdown. So in standard 11th, I was not able to go to Kota, but I went there in 12th and I did my preparation there. But first attempt, I was not able to clear it definitely. Then I was like, my parents were like, give it one more shot. Because in India, giving multiple attempts for NEET is nothing. So I gave one more time, and again the same decision that I was not able to clear it, the cutoffs. Even though with good scores, I was still not able to clear it. And then finally, I was like, okay,
How-
I cannot do it anymore. But I cannot give up my dream of becoming a doctor. There was such a, like, I could change my stream or anything, but I wouldn't wanted to do it. So that's how I tried to search for different opportunities.
how disheartening it was of not getting a seat from NEET, and how was that phase, the NEET preparation phase? Was it tough? Was it depressing?
This phase in Kota for me, I wouldn't say it was very good for me. I was not able to make a lot of friends there. I just locked myself in the room. I was just trying to study and just try to clear the exams because I heard that how difficult it is. You cannot waste time and everything. And I'd say that literally sent me in the sort of bad zone. And my social skills and whatever I had gained during my school life all went to drain. I was not able to even hold a proper conversation sometimes.
That happens with a lot of students, basically being in a hostel and then just going to the coaching. That's
Yeah.
become your life for 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
So now coming to the good part, all the hard works and now finally landing in a medical university that is recognized and reputed worldwide, and how this journey started, how you cleared this IMAT exam, and how difference it was for preparing for NEET and preparing for the IMAT, how difficult it was.
So after I decided that I cannot give NEET one more time, it was getting too much for me. So I started to search for opportunities of going abroad. Going abroad has always been my dream. One of the reasons was that. So I started to search for different countries, different opportunities, and slowly I came across the exam called IMAT. It interested me. It was in Italy, and I came to know that it is an English taught program. So I searched for it more and more, and then I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I checked for the syllabus, and I realized that the syllabus was not very different from NEET. It was actually very similar, and in fact, the syllabus contained less chapters than the NEET. But the questions, when I tried to prepare with the PYQs and stuff, I realized, yeah, I need to get a conceptual idea of the things. So I went ahead, I gave in 2 3 months, and then when I gave in September, I got my result.
And how do you see this journey, being landing in Italy into an Italian medical university? What do you think? Does it offer a better opportunity than getting a government medical seats in India? What would be your first preference if you have got a government medical seats in India and in IMAT as well, as you are already in Italy? In that scenario, what you would have chosen? Yeah.
I'd still choose IMAT because firstly, Italy is an EU country. It is an opportunity in itself. And if I talk about, I don't know much about the Indian medical government colleges, but if I tell about the Italian one, you get for the first 3 years, you get more of the theoretical knowledges. And through that, you need to have a proper verbal conversation with the professors because obviously the exams here are oral. So it's not like that you can just mug up things and you need to actually understand the concept. And that, I guess, helps you in the future when you go for your clinical training part. So that's one thing. And again, as I said, I won't give an opportunity to study in a EU country.
So that's your perspective. And what was the journey like? How is it easy or tough was it to tell your parents that you want to go to Italy, study there, complete your medicine there, and parents have all sort of concerns for their kid? So was there any problem there?
Yeah, definitely. As all Indian parents, they don't want to get parted with their children. So yeah, and especially for them to send them to different country, they have their own concerns, a lot of concerns. Like they didn't wanted me to go there. My father was supportive of me, but my mother, she is emotional. Mothers are emotional, so she didn't want to let me go this far. But I was able to convince them. But it was a battle in itself. My father helped me in that.
So now coming to all the good things, like since you are studying medicine in Italy, Institute medical program, how does it prepare you for a global medical opportunity and a global medical career in Italy?
In Italy, as I said, Italy is itself an EU country. So if you still have a medical degree from any EU country, it opens a global opportunities for you. If I talk about specifically here, if you are studying from an EU country, firstly, if you want to do your masters in any other EU countries like Switzerland and others, you don't need to actually prepare for any other extra exams. You just need to know the languages there. And if I talk about Switzerland, the packages there are equivalent to the packages in the US countries. So that's a plus point. And then secondly, in countries UK, you don't need to you can give exempted from giving PLAB, and you can directly get a residency there. That's amazing.
Yes.
To study in a UK and to get a PG, a residency in a UK university is amazing. Plus this Italian degree is also recognized by US governments. So yeah, you can also give USMLE and other stuff after passing from this.
That's so great to hear. And also, can you share how international exposure in your classroom has shared your perspective as a future doctor? How much international exposure is in your classroom in your university, and how it has shared you as a person, and how it is going to help you in your as a doctor in future?
So in my class, it's international degree. So my classmates are from different parts of the world. Some are from USA, some are from China, some are from Turkey and Israel, and so many countries. I can't even name them. Yeah. So these countries, people, I have talked to them. I have understood them. Some of them are very close friends of mine. Some are my acquaintances. They are different. But when I talk to them, firstly, I realized how similar we are at the core. Actually, so one thing that is amazed me, everything that there is something in each of the culture that is very similar to our culture. So that's something I appreciate. And obviously, I try to learn their languages. I try to learn their culture. I try to understand what dishes they eat and stuff. So as a person, I guess it will train me to accept every type of culture, and it will help me grow because having a global exposure itself is amazing. And as a doctor, I would say it will prepare me to go and serve any type of people in any type of country. I won't be hesitant initially, and this will help me create relations with someone from each country, I would
Yeah.
say.
That is actually going to be amazing after your medicine, or like you'll have a medical doctor friends from across the globe. You can ring
Yeah.
somebody in the USA, what new things are coming into the medicine, what they have, what information they have, what's going on in China, what's going on in Switzerland. So that's great to have,
Yeah.
right? And many students have this bias that studying medicine or studying abroad comes with a lot of fees and a lot of money. So how much tuition fee are you paying as of now, and what kind of scholarships have you got?
Currently, I am paying zero tuition fees. For Italy itself, they have a regional scholarship program where you apply for it.
Mhm.
Okay. And then that scholarship is about 7,000 euros per year. And that covers each and every necessity you have, especially if you are someone who knows how to live in budget. That's more than enough for you. It covers your tuition fee, your food are covered by Mensa, you even get hostel accommodations, and if not hostel accommodations, they even pay for your rent. Plus, you have extra money to spend. So I would say that money is more than enough for you to sustain here. You don't need to give anything from your pocket.
So that's amazing, like studying from top ranked university of the world, and
Yeah.
that too on zero tuition fee, and on top of that, getting amount for your own cost of living as well, right?
Yeah.
So, if not for this scholarship, will you be able to pursue your medical dream? If the scholarship was not there, and they also might have been charging some tuition fee, how it is in the Indian private colleges, then what would have been your answer to the Italian medical college? Would it be
Like
yeah.
if there was a choice, if I didn't have a scholarship, and if I had a choice to choose between an Indian private college and an EU college, I would still choose EU. Yeah, I would say it would have been expensive, but I don't think it will be more expensive than what you spend in an Indian private colleges.
So, what as a girl and as a student living independently in a abroad country in Italy has taught you till now? How did you change your confidence and change you as a person?
Firstly, I feel very safe here, even to roam at night. That's one thing I have always wanted to do. In India, it's not something possible for us girls to come out at night and do some things, to go for a walk at night or do just grocery, anything at night. But here, it's very safe. Firstly, to every girls out there, I would say EU is a very safe country. So yeah, I that's one thing. And as for confidence, I go out, I talk to people, they don't judge me or anything. So they listen to me as they listen to everyone. So that's one thing that has built my confidence more and more on that. So yeah, that's one thing. Safety has played a major role in building my confidence here as a girl.
And how's the academics like in Italy? How are the universities? How are the professors? How different it is from India? And are the professors supportive? If you can give a little insight into that.
Yeah, sure. So in Italy, as I said, in the medicine, the first 3 years they are all theoretical classes. You have some practical onsets. You have microscopy lab, and you have access to top class labs here, the anatomy lab and everything. You can go there. And as for the professors, they are very kind and supportive for sure. In our English taught courses, we have professors who teach in English. Yeah, so they try their best to make us understand in our language. And also, apart from that, they also have something called student hours that you can go and meet them in their offices if you have any personal doubt or something and meet there. And apart from that, you have access to the email of all the professors. You can mail them anytime and they give you very quick reply to all the concerns that you have. So the professors are also very supportive here.
And what kind of environment is in the classroom, in the labs, and everywhere in the university campus? Is it welcoming? Does it make you feel good?
Yeah.
How's it?
Like, firstly, I like the infrastructures here are amazing. Firstly, going with that, and then we have international offices here that literally is to help us international students settle peacefully here. We have our student body ambassadors who take care of international students like us. They have their own social media. If you have any types of issue, you can go and approach them. If you have, obviously, coming here, most of us don't know Italian in start. So that these student bodies and these international bodies, they are fluent in English. They understand your issues. They help out with that. And as I said, the professors are also helpful, so you can approach them. In short, you have access to all the emails, all the contacts of all the people that can actually help you out. So yeah, that makes it a little less daunting for us in the start. And even if the formal procedures like getting your permits and everything for a new student, you hardly know how to go, where to go, you can text these people and they will help you out. And our seniors are also very helpful. Even before coming here, I have contacted my seniors from the medicine courses, and they literally guided me. Once you come here, you need to do this. So yeah, I guess it is a welcoming environment.
How will you rate overall of your experience till now in Italy, and is anything striking that you find in Italy? Or like you have seen India as well, you are coming from a rich heritage culture that is Bihar, and did any striking differences you find in Italy?
The one thing that I will say here is people here literally believe in work-life balance. Sometimes my friends say they have only life-life balance, but that's a going joke among us. So it's like technical. In India, there's a culture of just work, hustle, and bustle. But here, literally, people take time with that. There is even a quote in Italian that I found strange that it's called il dolce niente, like the sweetness of doing nothing. So it's like even during the lunch hours, all the shops get closed. Here you won't find anything. During weekends, even some of the supermarkets are closed. That was strange for me because in India, even if I want to buy something, I can buy at night. I can go on weekends. Here I cannot even. I literally need to plan on during their opening hours. So that was something that was very striking for me. The way the people live here, they take time to do everything. They don't rush. So they properly enjoy their life. And in India, I don't think there's a life culture there.
So now I'd like to go with a little rapid fire and try to find out
Yeah.
what are your answers for that. So pasta or dal chawal?
I would say dal chawal.
Okay.
I cannot
Bihar,
leave my Indian.
Bihar or Italy? You can say both as well, not
Italy.
Italy. That's good.
I am it.
Medicine is passion or pressure?
Passion.
I met in one word.
Life-changing decision.
One thing you miss about home?
My parents.
First,
And the food there.
okay. First thing you learned in Italy?
So I learned that I can cook. I have never cooked in India, but here I learned that I have that skill. I
Okay,
cook so many things here.
that's great. Success is hard work or luck?
I would say both. Like the processes of coming to Italy, you need both luck and your hard work.
I guess luck is on your side when you have a proper plan along with your hard work. And if
That's
not
one
a
thing.
doctor, then what?
I've never thought of that, but I would definitely go to become, I would say I like literature.
If your journey had been a movie, what its title is going to be?
The title of my movie in my life, Moving Out of Your Comfort Zone, something like that. But it's not very interesting name, so I need to think of it.
It can be from Bihar to Barista Coffee, something like that.
Or from Chhath to Christmas.
That's great. From Chhath to Christmas, right? And message to your parents. Give some
For my
message.
parents, if they ever see this video, I would say that thank you for believing in me even though you were so scared. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come here, fly here. And I know even if I fail here sometimes, you are still there standing in back of me.
Message to a student who is watching this interview from a small town in India.
Even if something like NEET for me doesn't work out, don't give up. There are several other opportunities. As it said, if one door closes, several other opens. You just need to find it.
Message to an aspiring girl who is stuck in the boundaries of the societies, who just not have to prepare, like do hard work on the academics, but has to tackle a lot of other things as well. What's your message?
For her, the most important thing she needs is courage. Like, give your courage, just give it once. And once you come here, you will realize that all that is going to be worth it.
So that's all for today. It was great talking with you. It was a great insights about your childhood, about your education, about your quota journey now being in Italy and studying medicine. I guess you are into a very special kind of medicine program that is MedTech.
Yeah.
That is at this time not even available in most of the universities. And having friends from a globe, like from USA and from other countries, and hoping you all the success, that you become a great doctor, make all of us proud, your parents proud, you make your region proud. Also, one more thing I would like to ask,
Yeah.
since you are in Italy and Europe, are you the first person from your family to come to Europe?
Yeah, I am the first person. And that's why it was a bit more struggleful for me because obviously, if there's someone else before me, I could have said that they have done, I can do it. But for them, I needed to prove that I can do it on my own. So, yeah.
So we can title the movie on your life as a trailblazer. Like you not just created a path for yourself, but for others as well. And is there any member in your family as a doctor, or are you the first going to be the first doctor in your?
In my immediate family, I'm going to be the first one.
So again, creating many of firsts in your life, in your family, and that's so good to hear. So all the best. And any plans for future? What are the plans for future?
Currently,
Yeah.
my plans are obviously to complete this degree, learn a lot of skills in Italy because it has given me so much exposure. So not just getting stuck in academics, but also learning a lot of skills.
Mhm.
And then obviously planning for my future to go in different parts of to travel. I want to travel a lot.
So I hope if you're watching this interview, you might have taken a lot of notes from this interview. And if you are dreaming of pursuing a career, if you have dream of anything, just believe in your dream and go with it. And thank you, Rishima, very much. We at High Education Center also celebrate a student hardship, their struggles, their journey, and their success as well. So if you need any kind of assistance or anything from our side, we'll be always going to be there. And Reshima is also going to be guiding other students coming to Italy to study medicine or other parts of the world. Thank you very much.